people are interested in learning, how did you just find your midwives? Did you talk to other mothers in the area? For somebody who's just like getting started in the process, literally, like what did you do?
Yeah. So I'll start with my midwives in Florida because that's where everything started, right? I just researched midwives in my area. I had just moved to Florida, so I didn't really know anyone other than my husband and his family. So I didn't have moms in the area that I knew to ask. No, not a lot of people that I know have had home births. So it's like there wasn't a big community for me to kind of seek out. So I just did my research. I contacted a few, and my biggest thing for going the midwife route was having that one-on-one, interaction and just them being available to me during a time that's so precious, important, vulnerable. It's major to have a support in the form of your healthcare system that you feel supported in, and that they're reachable. You don't have to go through 1,000, voice messaging systems or like nurses before you like can get an answer from your actual doctor. That's what turned me off so much. I'm like, I'm going through the most important stage of my life, and I can't call my healthcare provider and be like, hey, this concerns me, Yeah. And you can Google things and they tell you don't do that because it's the worst thing you could possibly do. You'll scare yourself and you're not getting legitimate answers to like your needs, And so I did my research. I found my midwives, and Shannon, she picked up right away. Like, she has 7 kids and she's a midwife. So if anyone knows what that entails, they have crazy busy lives. And she answered my phone call and answered my questions. And I didn't even have an appointment with her. I just kind of called her up and was like, hey, I'm looking for a midwife. I found you online and I'm interested in setting up a meeting. And she was like, yes, of course. Ask me anything you need. And then if you decide you want to meet with, there's a group of 2, her and Rhonda. If you want to meet with us, we'll set up a place and time. And that was it. I was like, immediately felt that connection with her. And also it was the fact that she was reachable. And
it sounds much easier than you would think.
Yeah.
I think the hurdles might be more mental, obviously, to get there, if that's the decision you want to make. And obviously there's the financial factor that always is going to be a consideration regardless of what decision you make.
Right.
But it's really nice to hear that it was almost that easy for you to find somebody.
Yeah, I think being in tune with your intuition is really important, because obviously when you're making a huge decision, you don't take that lightly. And I don't take lightly any decisions that have to do with, pregnancy and doctors, especially for my children. For our own health, we're careful, but with children, we're 10 times more like, no, they have to be, the right fit. And so I really just listened to my intuition. It was telling me, these are the people. But obviously we had a meeting before I made that final decision. I met them in person. I had my husband come with me. Well, they came to our house. It was COVID. That's their service anyway. They come to you. All the appointments are at your house. The sonograms are at your house. They do have an office, and you could do that as well. But in my case, they were coming to me. So they came to our house. We met them. My husband was able to ask him all the questions he had. Both were able to meet them and got good, impressions, good vibes, It's that, as I say, that intuition of feeling out, is this the right fit for me? And we felt that all of the puzzle pieces kind of aligned. And then from them, they were the beginning of this wonderful community of women and healthcare providers that I later met. I met through them the chiropractor who adjusted me during my pregnancy and then adjusted Kalina when she was born.
Right.
And then I met the pediatrician who's amazing and does house calls. And she was the first year of Kalina's life, she was coming to our house to do the appointments. And then I met my therapist through them. And so I just think back and I'm like, how beautiful that one decision I made led to all of these other, beautiful people and just important moments and situations in my life. And so having the chiropractor, the pediatrician, and a mental health person, it's like that it was really amazing and needed for me. Like this video? It's just a taste of what's in the Unapparent podcast. Watch the full episode here.